I know. That's it. I held on to it forever, and now, hey, and we're live.
Here we are. We're live. What is it? Saturday. So what is it? What'd you call this one? Saturday night's all right for streaming.
Live from Arizona
and Green Bay and wherever you may be. Hey, wow! I even have a good shirt on. Nice, my Rebel Radio.
Me too. I'm rocking some Meshuggah.
Nice.
Puck hockey.
Nice. It's
how
just pushed through on YouTube. More nights with DETH. I like that. That's cool. So, what's going on in Green Bay?
Phil Andre. You know, man, I went to Rock and Roll Land today. So, as I mentioned in the caption, like 2 years ago, you dug through after the Dystopia tour. You dug through your wardrobe cases and gave me this big box of stuff we were going to put on eBay. And it's just kind of sat here. And it's like your cool stage clothes, all your cool stage clothes from Dystopia, basically. And it was sitting in a box at Rock and Roll Land here, my local record store that I go to. He was originally going to list it on eBay, and then we got busy on tour and just never did it. So I'm like, hey, I went and grabbed it today. And we're going to put it up on eBay and auction it off for the foundation. And it's so cool, man. So that was my big adventure today.
It's so funny. So Cisco has been kind enough to give us this amazing grant for their WebEx platform and some wonderful video monitors and stuff for which is going to be such a huge help now with the schools out lessons that we're doing. And
they gave me and David each one of their 55-inch Teams boards, which are like $60,000.
Which required me to completely clean and redo my entire office now, So it's so that kind of set in motion a whole like cleaning frenzy the last couple of days, and which is nice because it kind of unearthed a bunch of stuff. I come home off tour and I just throw stuff in the corner, throw it in the shelf, and then I pack my bag and I'm off to the next one. So now that I'm actually home for 2 months, it's sort of been like, all right, I need to figure out what's here, which is great. So there's all kinds of great stuff. So Thom and I were literally just talking this afternoon about that. And we've got a couple of other, like last week, and I think you're going to put up last week, I think when we were on the stream a couple of days ago, I found these bass strings, because I always say bass strings from every bass from shows, recording sessions. So I found the ones from recording the debut Metal Allegiance album back in 2015. Well, a month or so later, I recorded the Dystopia album on this one modulus bass. These strings that I saved, so these are the strings that recorded the Dystopia album. So we're going to pop these up. SIT strings of mine, I think is what they are. So we're going to pop those up on the auction item or on the auction link. And check this thing out. So back when I first started with Harkey, there was a partner brand that they had at the time. So right now it's Harkey Samson. Zoom used to be part of it. So they made this really great pedal. It's a bass pedal called the B3, and Mark Mengi from Metal Allegiance, he worked there at the time, and he asked a bunch of us, me, Billy Sheehan, I think maybe Victor Wooten, a whole bunch of people, to put presets in this pedal. Now this is an awesome pedal, and because I don't use this live with Megadeth and recording. I always just record everything real clean and straight, and then we kind of add everything in the post-production. So this is also going to go up on the auction block, and this is on the eBay auction. So this is an awesome pedal. So I will sign it for you, whatever. Found a couple of other cool things. Thom was actually mad at me because I gave him the Countdown to Extinction version.
Yeah, this is like 5 years ago. David's like, look at these. These are prototypes they made for us. and he had 3. He had those 2, and America Hall knows because she ended up with the Countdown to Extinction one. She probably still has it.
Yeah.
But so he gave me the Countdown to Extinction one, which is by far the inferior of the
design.
Image. Yeah.
It's an iPhone, so it's a phone. It's a phone, not just an iPhone. It could be because Thom uses Android. I've got iPhone. So look at this one. It's pretty cool, and it fits any size. I think the way that it works, Thom, and you would know, is this piece here. I think is actually like adhesive. So you can take so I got an iPhone 11, which is I mean, it works. It's a little big, but that's essentially what you do. You put your phone in there.
It's like a little folio.
Yeah. So these are super. I almost don't want to get rid of them because they're so cool, but I will just for the good cause of the foundation and the better, higher good that we're doing with that. So anyway, those will be up on the auction link.
Hello, Cleveland.
Hey, what is the auction link, by the way? Do you want to post it real quick just so people see what it is?
It's ebay.com/user/Ellefson Youth Music Foundation. Whenever I post it in here, like Facebook hates it and yells at me and says it's spam, basically.
Screw them. Screw Facebook. What do they know? You know why? Because they hate eBay. Right? YouTube hates Facebook because they're Google. Facebook hates eBay. They all hate each other. And then this base sold, right? This was the one that was in the auction, right? So this one is gone. I'm going to be signing. I'll shoot a little video. So this one's done. I took it to the studio down last week. I took it to the Platinum Underground and actually recorded a track for the new solo record. So that one's gone to good use. That's a good bass too. It was nice. I like it. So anyway, from Concepcion, Southern Chile, Marcelo, what's happening, buddy? How are you? So what else is going on here? We should probably pay attention to some people that are saying hello to us. A lot of people. Where can you get those phone cases? Nowhere, because they're not available. These are literally prototypes that were made and never went to market. I own the only two, and I don't even know how I got them. I'm not even sure, but these never, as far as I know, never went to market. So they're pretty.
We did not have them with the Ellefson face. We should though. We should have everything with the Ellefson face.
Or maybe they did go to market and they were just a limited time. I guess maybe that's how I got them. But they are not available anymore. I know that much. So
certainly not.
Yeah. So
that's it.
Again, I found just tons of stuff here. Stage pants that I have. This one's kind of cool. And I'm going to put this up just because it's really cool. James Lomenzo, who is a friend, played in Hail. And, of course, you would know him because he played in Megadeth. And his big gig from back in the day was playing with White Lion. He has a pedal that when he was with Ashdown Amps. And this is an incredible pedal. I've actually used it with Metal Allegiance when we played at the Grove a few years back. I think it was the one when Marty Friedman joined us, actually. And Marty and I, of all things, Marty and I do a jam after not playing together for 20 years. We jam a Metallica song, The Irony. So, but anyway, this pedal is killer. We're going to put this up on the eBay auction as well. It's a great pedal. Ashdown makes it a tremendous product. James did a really good job on that. Like I say, I've used it. It's kind of given me my use. So some of this stuff, look, as we know, some of this stuff you just kind of end up hoarding it, because you're like, what am I going to do with it? So I usually use everything I get, but sometimes I don't have to use it forever. So anyway, so tons of great stuff. The BC Rich bassist from the 80s. Man, Jason, I wish I did. I know where one of them is, and it's in Cleveland in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because I think Dave McRobb bought it when we did the auction back in 1996, 97. We did a big auction on Megadeth.com. I think Dave McRobb bought it, and we didn't know Dave yet. We didn't meet him until the Risk Tour in 1999. And he bought it, and then he sold it to a fan who really wanted it. And not that Dave didn't want it, but I guess his fan was really into it. So he sold it to him, and then he put it in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. And it started not only Megadeth being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's why he put it in there. He was so pissed there was no Megadeth stuff in there. But not only that, but then it started the entire heavy metal exhibit that's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So kudos to that guy. I've met him before too, and I can't remember his name. Forgive me, but super cool guy. And that's what's cool about you guys is when you buy this stuff, it's personal to us, so you buy it, and then you guys usually keep it and hang on to it, and they're your own mementos, and you don't resell the stuff. like douchey autograph collectors do, who come to the hotels with their blue pens and have probably never heard Megadeth before, but then want to resell our stuff. So thank you for being cool about that. That's nice of you.
Yeah, you can tell when people want you personalized, they're not going to sell it.
Exactly. Rather than, oh, don't put my name on it. Just here, sign it with this blue pen. It's like, get out of here. So anyway, we're pretty good about signing everything we can for everybody. But those kind of people, it's kind of douchey when they do that. But I got people from everywhere. So, the jam play lessons. It's funny. I did that years ago. I went out to Ohio, I think Cleveland, and shot that in that guy's basement of his house. And I was like, God, I hope this guy's not like some masked chainsaw murderer, and he's gonna like chainsaw me up in his basement. But no, he turned out to be cool. They were cool guys, and we had a lot of fun. We had to spend like a weekend there shooting all those lessons. So I'm glad people are getting good use from that. So greetings, Chile, from Santiago, Chilean Army, and I know. Look at we're doing our joint vocal zone. Vocal Zone coffee. I know, isn't that great?
I'm actually drinking the Vocal Zone tea out of it, so I'm using it for its intended purpose.
I'm actually drinking coffee, which is drying out my vocal cords. So then I'm going to have to supplement it with these, right? So
see, you're a wise man.
Guys like me. Good to see Phil on there. It's funny. I just saw last night. I reposted a couple things on Instagram that people were sharing. That Rock Picks was sharing some of the stuff from Steel Mill from the KK Downing event we did, which was super rad. It's fun just to see those pictures. That guy took some good pictures. So Phil, who is popping up here, he is the Motley Brew, who is our Ellefson Coffee partner over in the UK, and has our Ellefson Coffee at KK Steel Mill as part of his display. And what's that?
Somebody just pointed something out. If you cover up the VO, it says Calzone.
Calzone. Nice.
With a red Sharpie, this would be a calzone.
Calzone. There you go. Hey, did you see in the back? I unearthed my Risk plaque back there, which you've seen. Like you said, it's actually one of the cooler ones. They really did a good job on that.
It's a great looking plaque. So I got to answer this guy's question though. So
yeah.
What Vocal Zone is? Vocal Zone are these throat. It's a line of throat care products for singers. It was developed in like the early 1900s for this really famous opera singer, and through history, like Frank Sinatra used it. And again, so it's this line of like these little throat pastilles. They have a line of teas. And they're amazing. It's kind of, literally, there's times I couldn't talk and we had to play a show and I used Vocal Zone and my throat was like, and then I turned David onto it and we've both been, I use it when I talk a lot. If you talk, if you scream, if you sing, they're a lifesaver.
Yeah. Risk is an underrated album. I agree, Aiden. And by the way, thank you. Somebody just was saying here, Karen, you were saying thank you for voting for us every hour. What is that link again? That's 94 The Dark, right up in Little Falls, Minnesota. Over now.
You can find it on David's page and on my page and everywhere.
There's The Dark, 94 FM. The Dark up in Little Falls, Minnesota is running a little campaign with our recent release of Post Malone, Over Now. And
they do a little new music thing every week. They just put 3 songs and people vote for it, and the winner gets put in rotation. I think we're already in rotation anyway.
I think so too. Yeah.
But either way, we appreciate the vote. Speaking of which, Over Now is actually going to be on hard drive tonight on the weekend edition across the country. So if hard drive with Lou Brutus is on where you live, I know it's on here at like 10 o'clock. So I know they said here it's going to be like right in the beginning of the second hour of the show. So here it's going to be on around 11 o'clock. But yeah, if hard drive with Lou Brutus is on in your area, you can tune in tonight in the beginning of the second hour and hear Over Now, which is awesome.
Which is so cool. And it's so funny because me and Frank Bello had just done, one day Thom was like, man, we should hit up Lou, because I think we just put out Simple Truth. And so I hit up Lou by way of our friends
Randy Hawk.
Randy Hawk over at WJJO in Madison, who was always one of the early adapters, early responders to all things Ellefson and all.
It's amazing.
And so Frank Bello and I went on Hard Drive and did a little roundtable discussion with Lou Brutus. Frank, of course, is in New York. I'm out here. Lou is down in Washington, D.C. area. And we did that. And then literally like a day or two later, we dropped over now. And they hit us and said, hey, we've got this going into rotation. So that's super cool. So pretty cool. What made me switch to Jackson basses? So I think I told the story, Jason from Guitar Center. And it's one of the reasons on why when we did Oh Say Can You Stream, I had to get Jeff Pilson, who now plays in Foreigner, of course, best known for his work with Dokken. I had to get him on this podcast so we could tell the story, or not podcast, but our stream here. And I saw Dokken, me and Dave and Chris Poland went to go see Judas Priest. It was on the Turbo Tour. They played, this is probably 1986, late 86. They played at the Sports Arena in LA. And the opening band was Dokken, who, of course, were, very well known. And Jeff Pilson, the bass player, was playing a Charvel bass, and it sounded amazing. I mean, so good. And so later that week, I went to the Guitar Center, ironically, Jason from Guitar Center. I went to the Guitar Center on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, and on the wall, they had I was looking for a Charvel bass, but they didn't have one. They had a Jackson, so I pulled it down and plugged it into a Harkey, basically a Gallion-Kruger head to Harkey cabinets, and that bang right there. That was the day the new tone was born. So I moved off the BC Riches, came over to Jackson, and now this year is 40 years of Jackson, 40th anniversary, and of course it's 30 years of Rust in Peace. So that's why we partnered and did this bass together. Which was the original 5-string, as Thom pointed out, really was the very first heavy metal 5-string bass. So
yeah, it really was. At the time, it was just kind of jazz and funk guys that used 5 strings, and then you came up with it out of necessity because you had to play Hanger 18. And it had the weird low shit in it. Yep,
I had to play Hanger 18. I think I talked about that before, right?
Probably.
I could plug in. Let me see if I can plug in here without ripping my ears off with my headphones. Hang on a second. Where's put these two little amps down here. Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
So with Hanger 18, I pull it out. Hang on, I'm falling apart here. Hang on. What the hell? Well, my amp may have gone to heavy metal heaven. I'll have to look later.
Wow.
No, killed the amp right on the live stream. So anyway.
Hopefully it's not a Harkey.
No, it's not. It's actually a Randall. It's a friend of mine gave it to me. He said, hey, I have this amp at the house. Do you want it? I'm like, I don't really need another amp. I said, sure. And it's a great amp. It's just got a little, and and when it's on clean, I can play bass. I hit the distortion and it sounds like Dimebag. It's got that Pantera distortion. So if I want to go back and forth between guitar and bass, it's easy to do. But yeah, so I was playing, and I see it's kind of ruined the effect because you can't hear it. But just to go basically down to that low D down here. Right there. That's basically why this bass was invented, for that opening, basically the first half of Hanger 18 was for that. So anyway, that story just killed my amp.
Hanger 18 literally killed your amp.
It did. Killed it. Done.
Randalls can't handle Hanger 18. That's why you use Harkey.
That's why I use the Harkey. Hey, look what else I found too from when we played the Forum with the Scorpions. Isn't this cool? Backstage, they've got these really cool notepads and napkins, like bar napkins and stuff. Is very cool. The Fabulous Forum.
And Klaus Main drew all of the logos on all of them personally.
Personally autographed by Klaus.
With the lyrics to Winds of Change.
Yes. before he rocks us like a hurricane. I like Dawkins, says Brian. Me too. You know, it's so funny. I'll drive around and I'll listen to the only thing I really ever listen to on my car radio is Sirius XM, which here in America is a satellite. You can listen to it all across the whole country. And I got to listen to comedy and Ozzy's Boneyard and Hair Nation, a little bit of liquid metal once in a while. So, can we make a show in North Macedonia in the next European tour? Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. That's all I can say. What's up from the Lone Star State? That's funny. Our song.
Yes, it is. It is. That's what I thought of when I saw it.
See, I guess there's a reason that song was.
I know. I literally just thought of it. Yeah, we have a song that the working title is Lone Star that we're working on for a record. That probably will not be the final title, but that's the working. All of the songs, like Simple Truth was the Dead Kennedys song that got shortened to the DK song. That was the working title right up until I titled it Simple Truth. All of our songs have these funny working titles until.
What's funny, Lone Star, the way it came up is I was literally waking up out of in the morning. And, you know, sometimes right before you wake up, you just have that really deep, awesome sleep and you get these just wicked, weird dreams. And so I had to picture like the beginning, like the P-Cells video, right? Where the camera's really tight on Dave's mouth. And that's all you can kind of see is, what do you mean? I don't believe in God, right? So all I saw were these lips and they were painted red, white, and blue. And the singer was going, Lone Star, right? That had kind of this thing. And as it came back, it was Ozzy. I'm like, what the hell would Ozzy be singing Lone Star for?
Okay, Jason from Guitar Center, we literally just talked for 30 minutes about how they just released a limited edition. Oh, I guess you said with an album cover. Yeah, probably. Dean did that with guitars for Dave, but yeah, probably not. Probably not. I mean, look, that's probably the closest we'll get.
Yeah.
I thought he said release for a specific album. I'm like, I think we just did that, but no, I get it now.
So you, after COVID, play more shows at home? God, let's hope not. I'm tired of playing shows at home. I want to get out and play. Freaking sick of it.
I want to play some shows not at home.
I know, exactly. I mean, I get it. On one hand, it is nice to, what is this drawing here? I'll have to go back and look at that from Ariel. Yeah, I know. I will, I mean, on one hand, this, you know, it is kind of cool, the quarantine years.
Right.
But I'm definitely looking forward to getting back and rocking. And, you know, it's funny, you know, here in Arizona, things are starting to open up a lot more. And, you know, restaurants are starting to be open. I did go to a restaurant the other day. There was basically my family over here in the patio and another family inside. But it's funny. I was just with a chef friend of mine, John Paul Hutchins, who is an instructor at the Cordon Bleu School. And he's got a really cool thing he's doing on his Instagram. He's talking about how restaurants, kind of creative ways for restaurants to make money now because, you know, selling merch and doing other things, you know, which is stuff us band guys have been doing for years. You know, we don't just make and sell music. We sell merch and VIP experiences and all these other kind of cool stuff that we do. So, but now restaurants are kind of have to force to do the same thing. So, but you know, it's like he was saying, I just took some bass strings over to him because he was hitting me up about buying bass strings. I said, dude, I've got a garage full of bass strings. I could spare some bass strings. So I took some over to him, but it was funny. We had a good conversation. He was saying about how, you know, in restaurants, it's not that we don't trust the people in the restaurant, the people making the food. It's like, we don't trust the other people in the restaurant. You know, are they safe? Are they not? You know, so who knows? So it's, did that guy wear a mask or did he not wear a mask? Hey, so I do have in my second cup of coffee, because it's just that kind of an afternoon, I've got this one, which was actually from some fans made it for me. It was when I was down in Sao Paulo on the Bay Story tour back in December.
That's fun.
It's a bit me getting Portuguese lessons. Our security guy, Nige Adriano, he was trying to. One night, like when we're on stage, before I go introduce Peace Sells, right, and we're in a local country, I'll always real quick. I'll go, hey, how do you say hello in Germany or in German, or hey, how did you say hello in Spanish if you're in Mexico, or maybe Spanish if you're down in Argentina? And in this case, I was saying, hey, how do you say something like hello, Sao Paulo? And so he goes, you want to say EIO, EIE, EIE. And I was like, what, EIO? Like McDonald's, EIO? And he said, no, man.
ELO, what?
EIE, right. So that's what this cup is. It's basically the Nige, the bald guy, teaching me how to, and I'm like on the side of the stage going, EIO? No, EIE. So unfortunately I did it. EIE, Sao Paulo, which is basically like, how you doing, kind of thing. So
EIEIO.
Yeah. So that's what I said. So EIEIO, right? Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. Somebody dropped in to join us, man. Look at this. It's our buddy Rob Rivera from Nonpoint.
Hey, buddy.
Hi.
What you doing, man?
What's going on?
How are you?
Doing good. How are you, sir?
Last time I saw you, I think was on the Shiprock cruise a year ago or something, right?
Yes, it was. And last time we spoke, you did my podcast.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. How are you still doing it? You still doing your podcast?
Yeah. I mean, obviously now, things are a little different, but we've had our guests, I'm trying to focus on writing music, and I actually am more busy now during the pandemic than I was not.
Dude, we're saying the same thing, right? It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Just writing a lot of music. We just dropped an acoustic version of one of our older songs. I mean, we had some plans, but everything, shifted and changed all our plans. So we're going to wait till, the right time to announce stuff, so God knows when that'll be.
What's your podcast? Put your link out. What is it? So if everybody here can go check it out.
Or I can actually post something here.
Well, you can post it. Yeah. The private chat will just go to me and Thom, but
put it in the private chat, and then I'll post it in the actual comments.
Thom, share it.
It's just Robcast Podcast. That's all I know.
There you go. That's all you need. Robcast Podcast. Yeah. Rob with 2 B's.
Yeah. Hey, Danielle. Danielle Jacques was my neighbor when I first moved to Arizona back in 1993.
How's the weather out there, Dave?
Dude, it's awesome. It's like getting hot today. In fact, this morning I take my cats outside because they think outside is like another room to the house now. So they're like, we want to go out to that room. There's birds and snakes and fun things, right? So I take them out there. And I was just sitting out there drinking coffee. And man, I started to get some allergy headaches today. It was hitting me pretty hard. Yeah, but I've been out mountain bike riding and doing all kinds of stuff because out here, we're not right on top of each other, so I can get out but it's last week it was up in the hundreds. This week it was a little cooler, down in the 90s. Ooh. Actually went golfing a few days ago with some buddies, which is nice. So it's good to get outside.
It was our highest. It was like 75. It's been the highest this year. I'm in the Chicago area. It's freezing all the time. So
yeah. But 70 is hot in Chicago. 70 for you in Chicago is like being like 90 here.
Yeah, it's starting to get hot and humid. Like I had to break out the fans. Mm-hmm. It's getting there.
Yeah. So today, actually, the band, we all, except my singer, we all got together for the first time to jam, just to hear loud guitars and loud drums. And
nice.
So that was a lot of fun. We worked on a couple cover songs. Just trying to stay busy. I put up a link. I just went there one day to storage to pick up my stuff, and my guitar player. I posted. I just played drums for like 30 seconds and posted a video of it.
Yeah.
And my guitar player said, "Dude, we need to jam soon." And I said, "Well, let's do it. Why can't we? I mean, we're all everybody in the band is. I trust everybody in the band has practiced. Everybody's practiced the guidelines, staying safe." Doing the things that we need to do.
Yeah.
So I wasn't worried about getting together with my band.
Yeah.
But it felt good, man. I got my blood boiling, got my old bones all, ready to go again.
So you guys actually got together in a room and jammed?
Yeah, we had at our storage unit.
Nice. I did the blood test. I did the antibody test. I'm negative. It just literally came back yesterday. Came back that I'm negative. So
I was sick about a month ago. I mean, really sick with a bad sinus infection. I was coughing, fever. I didn't go get tested. So, but they said that no signs of it, but even though I had a fever and I was coughing.
Yeah.
But I'm great now. If I had it, if I got it, then I overcame it. So
yeah. I know, you know, part of you kind of like, God, is it better to have it and then maybe have some immunity to it or not? I mean, I got, you know, me and Thom were over when we were over in Europe back in November. We were both so you got sick coming off the mega cruise, Thom.
Oh yeah, on the mega cruise.
And I've been around you, and I don't have it, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't on the mega cruise. So
yeah, I don't know. But, I don't know. We were both pretty fucking sick.
I haven't done a body test yet. I've not done that.
Yeah. But I talked to Chuck Billy. I guess probably about a month ago now, and you know, like he said, he goes, you know, sometimes you know you can be really sick, and it's just the flu. You know, it's some other thing. It's not necessarily you know the COVID thing. So
yeah. I mean,
I guess look, better to not have it. I guess probably in the scheme.
Yeah, I had just had a friend that just got tested. She was really, I mean, down to the count sick. But she tested negative for it. So
yeah. So I think there's some other nasty crap that goes around. And you know, we know like flying around the world and I mean, you can be totally healthy, get on an airplane, and a day later you're sick. You know, from somebody.
I know. I mean, this is it. This is allergy season still. I think. Yeah. So I know that. I had a bad sinus infection, but you know, thankfully, you know, I'm good now. So.
Yeah, good. Well, that's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Yeah, I know. So, I think we're working on. We're talking about, you know, we got a Megadeth record to record. Me and Thom were actually supposed to go to London right after Easter to go record this Ellefson solo record.
We're supposed to be on a plane to Japan literally right now.
Oh, that's right. You know, it's funny. It came up in my phone. Yeah, that's right. We're supposed to be going to Japan. I kind of blew it off though.
Yeah.
Actually, they blew it off. They had to reschedule it. But I mean, look, everything's kind of, you know, getting moved around here, you know. So.
I just been listening to music, just all this time off. I restructured my vinyl collection.
Very nice.
Put everything in that alphabetical order, you know.
Yeah.
I tried that once, and I kind of did it, but you know, the thing is, I get so many records, and I buy so many records that it's like I have an overflow shelf that is like probably 300, 400, 500 records. I have stacks in here of like I buy the new shit. Like at one point, it was kind of organized, but I think I have probably 2,000 or 3,000 records at this point, and it's just like the last 200 I bought, I haven't even listened to. Like they just started getting stacked up in here, and it's just they're everywhere, man. My life is.
I have close to 1,000, and there's many that they're still in the wrap. I haven't even opened.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I do? I'm
also a collector. So for
vinyl, I only buy old, like the original old ones for like $5 and $6. Like we go to when we were doing the coffee tour through the Midwest, a lot of it was in record shops and stuff. And Thom would come out and go, "Dude, look what I just found!" And he'd buy me some like Judas Priest record for like $5.95. You know, the original price from way back in the day.
Yeah.
And I just made sure that I only. You know, because I don't want to buy the new stuff because I don't really listen to it. I buy everything digitally, so I got it on my phone, you know, for traveling. But I want like the old original Michael Schenker record.
The only time I buy reissues if it's like there's like literally I can count the shit I have reissues of or newer stuff, you know, like some of the Faith No More records that were. And again, a lot of those I eventually replaced, like Introduce Yourself. I originally bought a reissue, but then I found an original. King for a Day, I found but some of the Faith No More records, Mother Love Bone, certain stuff that just doesn't exist in an original pressing, you know, that I have to have on vinyl. But yeah, I mean, mostly 98% of my collection is originals and, you know.
You know, imagine one day I go to in the garage, right, and I open up a cabinet and I see all these old original So Far So Good So What pressings that I got from Capitol back in 1988 in vinyl sitting in my garage. They'd been there for years in the heat of Arizona.
Wait, are you talking about that stack that you brought in when we were doing Radio Combat?
Yes, that
wasn't even just So Far So Good So What. No, he brought in this box, and for years. So to preface this, for years I've been saying, dude, don't you have old vinyl or anything around? He's like, no, I don't collect that. I'm like, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? And then one day, me and David were recording our show Radio Combat that we did on Ideal Radio. He walks in with this giant stack of this crate of vinyl and sets it down, and my jaw drops. And it's like sealed so far, So Far So Good So What, Rust in Peace. I mean, just a bunch of singles, like crazy crazy.
Yeah, the Mary Jane single.
Yeah. So basically, by the end of it, everything he had more than one of, he let me take. So
you now have.
I know, I do. I literally have a sealed original pressing, Rust in Peace. Like,
when Rust in Peace came out, was vinyl still a thing?
Oh yeah,
yes,
big time.
Yes.
Really?
Big time.
Oh, I did not know that.
It was just starting to phase out. Like in 1991, it really phased out in America.
Yeah.
Like all the shit in like the early 90s, like the Slaughter records and kind of like that period is where it was more of the pressings you can get. That's why a lot of that shit like Skid Row and Slaughter and a lot of that era stuff. Even Countdown to Extinction. That was when it went away. Like you can Countdown to Extinction, the one I had is like a Korean pressing. Basically, around Countdown is when vinyl really went away in America. And that's why a lot of you have to get like South Korean pressings, South American pressings, European. It still stayed strong over there, but in the US in like 90, 91, 92, that was when it kind of started to taper off and they didn't make as much in the US. And even then, a lot of the ones that were made were like Columbia House or BMG, like the record clubs would still do pressings, but the labels didn't necessarily do it. So there's certain records like, Slaughter Stick It to You that there's really only in America, there's only record club pressings of that are terrible, so.
But you remember, I don't know, Rob, if you've seen them, but in South America, everything was so corrupt and bootleg down there that it's like they would literally take a P-Cells album, put it on a photocopier, make a copy of it, and then some mafia bootlegger would basically run off 1,000 copies, and that's what you'd find. It's like you're like, are you kidding me? Like it would say EMI on it, you knew it wasn't.
But the only original Megadeth pressing I have is "Killing Is My Business."
Oh wow!
I have an
original one.
Original Combat pressing of that. It's Combat, right?
Yep.
Combat, yeah.
With the green logo.
Yep. The green.
Yes. Is that
the green logo inside the record?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the only original pressing that I have. I
think
reissues of P-Cells and reissues of Rust in Peace.
Yeah,
but I don't have originals of those. But I do have an original of Killing for sure.
It used to be great. You'd go to the Capitol Records Tower, and they would just say, "Hey, what do you want?" And Capitol had they had like Bob Seger and Tina Turner and Steve Miller, that kind of stuff. So you're like, all right, well, I'll take a few of these. Why not? But it was funny because Poison and Megadeth literally got signed probably in like the same month. They came up off of Enigma, we came up off of Combat. And it's just funny, like the diversity of stuff that was there. I remember Duran Duran had a brand new record out. Bob Seger had Like a Rock had just come out, so it's just pretty funny. And Queen, Some Kind of Magic, I think, had just come out. Of course, they were on EMI over in the UK, but Capitol was the US label. So it was interesting the records that were coming out. So now obviously we'd always get a bunch of our own, stuff.
I love going to the record labels when they used to have offices in different cities.
Oh yeah.
I
used to love going to Interscope because especially when they merged with everybody, it was like, here.
The first thing I'd ask, hey, where's the closet?
Yeah.
It's totally right.
Where's the closet? Because
exactly.
this was for CDs, but man, I would grab, we were on MCA, so we had like that Night Ranger, all this stuff. I used to grab all that old MCA stuff. It was awesome.
I used to go to every label just to have meetings, and leave with a garbage bag of
full of stuff. Yeah, I could see that. I remember when Michael Lago was courting me and Dave to get when he worked for Elektra, and he had, of course, signed Metallica, and was courting us to sign Megadeth over there, and that kind of started the label bidding wars. Kind of like I guess probably spring of 86, because we had just finished recording P-Cells, and we recorded it for Combat, and then Michael jumped in, and then Tim Carr from Capitol, and they all jumped in and started the feeding frenzy, of where we were going to land next for a major label, which is so exciting, man. It was so fun. But I remember, Elektra had, of course, Motley Crue, Metallica. Metallica just put out Master of Puppets. And in fact, Michael took me and Dave over to Rutherford, New Jersey, and that was when Metallica was on the Ozzy tour. And we went back and talked to the Metallica guys for Liz. Last night I saw Cliff Burton. That was the last time that I did talk to him.
Oh wow!
I guess he had done the U.S. tour, and then they went over to Europe, and and did that. But yeah, those were fun times, man. The record business was big, you know, the touring, but everything was big back then, you know. It was
And why do you think like vinyl has had such a resurgence now?
I don't know.
Because the art's big, because it's nostalgic. I mean, look, everything in this business is fueled around nostalgia and memorabilia now. I mean, look, it's got big art and it's cool and it's different. It has a distinctive sound. And again, the nostalgia. People they want to feel that feeling that they got then, and kids want to feel that feeling that they never felt. You know, it's a different experience to own it, to buy it, to listen to it. You know,
I went to FYE, maybe the FYE closed.
Nope. Me and David.
I went to an FYE not too long ago when I was on the road, and I saw 3 teenage girls looking at vinyl to buy. And I'm like, here I am. I'm almost 50 years old, you know, and I'm like looking. I was like, wow, how awesome is that? They're actually buying vinyl. Like, it felt so good. And I walked into Walmart. They have Injustice for All at Walmart.
I know.
I was like, what is going on? Like, Walmart got into the vinyl game. And
I bought Injustice for All on CD for like $5 at Walmart a couple weeks ago. I didn't need it. I was just like, I'm going to buy Injustice for All at Walmart because I can.
And it's $5.
I know.
So Leonardo Copy says, I have 167 Megadeth vinyls in my collection. It's probably it's between official 7-inch jukebox bootlegs. Wow, it's probably almost as much as Thom has.
Yeah, you know, I have probably 40 something. He's got me. He's got me way hands down beat. But I got some cool shit. I mean, I have that 12-inch of the Randy Burns mix of Peace Sells. I have that No More Mr. Nice Guy shaped shocker single. I have some cool. Yeah. I have some cool. I also have a David Ellefson sealed copy of Rust in Peace. I bet you don't have that.
I don't even have that.
Exactly.
I've been trying to find Countdown. And Countdown, I know it's on Picture Disc out there.
No, dude. I mean, honestly, I have an original pressing. I ordered it from South Korea, I think, and it cost me $40-$50. It wasn't bad at all for an original pressing. I mean, again, I just don't do reissues, but I just got one like last year from Korea. I think I bought it on Discogs maybe or eBay, and they're around. But again, you're not going to find the U.S. pressings go for like $200-$300 when they pop up. They're super rare, but
I know I haven't been able to find one like less than $100.
Yeah, I mean, mine. I was just kind of price it out and look, man. Like certain shit, like Slave to the Grind, I had to order from Korea. Countdown to Extinction, I had to order from Korea. But again, that's where you want to look for those.
I'm trying to find the John Corabi Motley Crue record.
God, that's real. You know what? One of my fucking
anywhere.
Friends, I'm so pissed, found an original pressing at a record show last year that I didn't go to, and I was supposed to go. I was so pissed. It's out there. You can find it. It's hard to come
funny.
by.
My wife used to work for Doug Thaler when they managed Motley, and I remember that's kind of right when she sort of wound down her professional career. We moved out here to Arizona and started our family. And I remember, I think we have a cassette of that somewhere. A cassette of I remember listening to it when we got out here to Arizona. I remember listening to it and just going, wow, and it had some cool songs in it. What is it? Hooligans Holiday. I remember that was a good one. There was some cool. It was, again, it was like a lot of things. It didn't quite sound like a full Motley Crue record, but it was cool. It was definitely, I thought it was a cool record.
John Corabi's got a fantastic voice.
Yeah.
I
remember his wife was a makeup artist, and I did a photo shoot for Ampeg out here at a studio out here, and I remember she was the makeup artist on the photo shoot. It's Small World, it's like the people that found something else. Hang on one second. I want to find something.
Did you guys see this? Look at this. I like this is just sitting on my desk right here.
I don't know if the one that I have. I don't know if the one that I have is an original pressing. I'm not really sure.
No, okay, yeah, I don't know if they reissued this, but this is. I have so much random Megadeth shit. I mean, somewhere. Where? Oh God, check this out. Hold this. I love this guy.
You know what, Thom? I got to listen to this one. Check this out. So this is from when Ron Lafitte first started managing us. He worked for a company called Lippman & Kahane Entertainment. Rob Kahane managed George Michael, who was huge at the time, and then the Lippman brothers. Terry is a producer manager, and that's how we got Mike Klink to work for us because he was on a hiatus but right before he started Illusion, Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion records. And I got to hear this. This is like Polaris, Holy Wars, and a song called Uniform. I have to hear what that is. I just found it in my cleaning of the. I wonder if that's the ones that Chris Poland played on.
Wow, I'm curious. I want to hear that.
Yeah, me too. You know, it's funny. I'm good thing I saved my cassette player. I've just got this one tiny little cassette player.
These are two of my favorites that are always displayed behind me, but you can never really see them. The original Mary Jane single.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
And my Motley Crue Helter Skelter picture disc with the poster that I want to hang up, but it's so big that I can't frame it, which pisses me off. I also have this, the Mary Jane cassette single.
Oh, yeah, and that was on EMI, right? That was like a UK one? Yeah.
Well, this one actually says Capitol. It doesn't say EMI.
It does say Capitol.
It does say Capitol, but it is, I'm pretty sure.
It looks like a British release.
It is, but it doesn't say EMI. It says Capitol, which is weird, but it's totally
You're quite the collector, my friend. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, man.
I still have a lot of my cassettes. I don't have a cassette.
The original Chris Poland Return to Metalopolis cassette.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, I still have a full-on, 80s component system. Where is it? There it is. I still have a full-on 80s component system.
So, the full-on Marantz.
Yeah,
right?
It's
Kenwood
Marantz.
speakers in your Marantz turntable.
It's like Scott, I don't know. It's a mutt. But yeah, dude, that's how I listen to music. But the funny thing is I don't. Half the time I just listen to it on my damn computer or my phone. I have this massive piles of vinyl and I listen to fucking MP3s. It's a sad state of affairs.
People just love convenience. I mean, I listen to my music by pretty much 80% of it's all on my phone. I stream a lot. I stream a lot of stuff, but there's days that I have a vinyl day. I think I'll take one day. So, I'm just going to listen to vinyl. And I'll just go put on either Merciful Fate or I'll put on an old Tokyo Blade album or something like that. I'll try to find the most random. So I haven't heard this in a while. I listened to Tank. I was listening to Tank the other day.
Dude, you know what's funny? I was just reading in Murder in the Front Row, which has been sitting on my bookcase over here. And so I opened it up again and started reading. And I think it was Harold Oyman, is one of the authors of that book because he was the photographer. And he's talking about how we got the Merciful Fate Nuns Have No Fun EP. And it was a 45, but he had his stereo set to 33. So he was listening to Merciful Fate on 33 RPM.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? Imagine that.
Well, you remember
King Diamond.
Oh, God, I know. So dumb.
That happened to me. That happened to me listening to Wasp Fuck Like a Beast. It was a big record. It was
a 45, 12.
You had to play it on 45, and I played it on 33, and I thought, man, this is the most evil stuff I've ever heard in my life.
I did that with the Misfits Friday the 13th 12-inch. Same thing. I listened to it. I'm like, this is sludgy and heavy, and then I'm like, no, it's supposed to be at 45 RPM. That's
but so cool seeing everybody posting over here all their vinyl stories and all their different stuff. It's funny to see in the live comments. Man.
You remember when we went to that record store in fucking Wolverhampton? I found that King Diamond No Presents for Christmas original pressing and Conspiracy. I found so many dope records at that one fucking store.
And remember, and also Judas Priest, Killing Machine, which over here was called Hellbent for Leather.
Yeah.
But the title of it was actually Killing Machine.
I have that.
Right?
I have Killing Machine and Hellbent for Leather both.
Yep. We picked them up when we were in England.
I didn't even know that record was called Killing Machine till recently.
Yeah.
I had
really?
No idea.
Really?
And I saw it at. I went to this guy on Facebook Marketplace was selling records, and he had it there for $10.
That's dope.
I said, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say nothing to this guy because he's gonna jack up the price or something like that.
Totally.
So I gave the $10 immediately.
Right.
Bought it. So I said, it's all the same songs, but I want it just because it has a different title on it.
Yeah, we were in Wolverhampton to play a show with Les Binks and KK Downing buying Judas Priest records. It seems like the thing to do, right?
With Les Binks and KK Downing on them. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Les Binks. Oh my God. What a fantastic drummer.
Oh my God.
What a great player. You know what's interesting about him? He's a very schooled player. You know, like apparently he did a ton of session work. I guess he and Simon Phillips were kind of the guys around London doing a lot of the same kind of sessions. And then he joined Judas Priest. And then, you know, after recorded Unleashed in the East, and after that, you know, there was the falling out, and so he just kind of went back and did his own thing. So it was cool for KK and Les had not played together, I don't think, until that night again.
That was it.
So it was really cool.
First time. That was like almost 30 years, right?
30 years.
The rehearsals we did the couple of days before that, but on stage, that was the first time since Les left the band. Me and him talked that one night. Me and him took the cab back from the rehearsal back to the hotel. Les kind of told me his whole life story, and that was the first time
Didn't Simon Phillips play on a Judas Priest record too?
He did. Yep. What was it? Sad Wings of Destiny or Sin After Sin? I forgot which one.
I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah.
But I know they had quite a few drummers before Dave Holland came in, and and now they got the
Les was there. Les was there up until Dave Holland came in, and of course Scott Travis has been there ever since. Scott's a monster, man.
Oh my God!
He kind of reshaped Judas Priest, quite honestly. When
you listen to Painkiller. Yeah, Painkiller. That record.
That's one of the few records I own a reissue of because I can't find a fucking original. Painkiller. Yeah. Again, that's that period when records started getting phased out in America and you can't fucking find them.
I have a version of that, but it's not. It's just whatever. It's like,
I have a reissue. That's one of the few that I had to have, so I just bought a reissue.
And how good is Firepower? Holy
amazing,
cow.
Amazing.
Probably, that was my favorite. That was 2018, right?
Yeah.
That was my favorite record of that year, with Saxon a close second. The Saxon record was really
good. And Saxon was out with Priest, right?
Yep. That record, that
Black Star Riders.
Priest album was like just as good as anything in the past. And I probably think it's very, very probably the one that should have followed Painkiller, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic
album. I mean, just amazing record.
Andy Sneap did a wonderful job on that album.
I know, Andy. It's funny, when I came back to Megadeth in 2010, I played on a song we had called Sudden Death. You know what? I forgot we got nominated for a Grammy with that. I just found all these, like, when you get nominated for a Grammy, they send you it's like a nice little a sheet that you can, basically put into a plaque. It's cool. And I found a stack of all those things from when they've been sitting over here in my shelf. And I forgot Sudden Death that we recorded for. It was the last Guitar Hero, so it was for Activision. And
that's awesome.
Andy and I were always joking. He goes, man, I really would have loved to cut a record with you. And I said, I know, because I love Andy's work, man. But then
that would be an interesting pairing, you guys.
Super good, yeah, I know. Because Andy did 2 records with Dave. He did Endgame and United Abominations, which were both really good records. Yeah. And Andy's just got great musical sensibility. Obviously, he makes great sounding records, So.
Yeah. Also, Sneap has done Megadeth albums?
Yeah, he did. Yep, he did too. When I was in the band, he did.
I had no idea.
Yep, Mike Gitter, who was in Roadrunner, brought him into work on United Abominations and then Endgame. He did those 2.
Where's Mike? Is Mike Gitter at Century Media right now?
Yeah, and that's not. Yeah, exactly. Now he's actually at the Orchard. It's still Sony, but they moved from Century Media over to the Orchard, which is because he just reached out to me and Thom to use the Combat logo because he's reissuing all these old Combat releases, like Exodus and Possessed and all these old,
the Forbidden records. Hell yeah!
Yeah, so he reached out to us about using our logo, which of course we said yes, which is super cool to have those.
That's awesome. Yeah, Mike Gitter was my A&R for one album we were on Razor and Tie Records.
Oh, nice!
And he was my A&R on that album.
I love Gitter.
He's quite the character, that guy.
I pulled out some more gems from the stack up here. The Abigail picture disc.
I don't own too many picture discs.
Hey, when did that come out?
Massacre 2?
In 86.
86, 87.
Yeah, so 86 we did the Megadeth King Diamond tour. Was that Abigail or was that Fatal Portrait?
That was probably this was 87, so that was Fatal Portrait.
Yep. Got it.
Was that a US tour?
Yes.
U.S. tour, yes. We were waiting for Peace Sells because we signed to Capitol. We were waiting for them. They were setting up the record. Andy Summers was our agent back then, and so he put us out on a tour, King Diamond and Megadeth. And yeah, King Diamond was great. I mean, that was the first time he'd gone solo after Merciful Fate.
I would have loved to have fucking seen that tour. Jesus.
Yeah, still had Timmy Hansen. Yep, still had Timmy Hansen on bass, Michael Denner on guitar. Mickey D was the drummer. And then also the guitar player, Andy. Andy LaRock. Yep, who's still with him. Yep. So he
had 3/5 of Merciful Fate.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. And 2 Swedes, 3 Danes and 2 Swedes. Yep. Yeah. They were killer though. I mean, that was when I really got to see, especially with Mickey and Andy, the quality of the Swedes. I mean, I always said that about Canada. Canada's got the bar's a little higher, like the quality of what Canadian bands and musicians do. And I always feel the same way with Sweden. There's just the bar is just an extra level higher.
Mickey D is fantastic.
Incredible.
Yeah.
My God, what a band. Now he's in the Scorpions of all bands.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And gave the Scorpions. I mean, remember the Scorpions? They were basically doing a farewell tour. Then Mickey joined, and then all of a sudden it became, 50 years of Scorpions. And now they go.
And now, you know what? I would love to hear him play those songs. I can't even imagine the energy he probably brings.
Yeah, he's great.
I love.
Didn't you come to our show? You came to our show, Scorpions, Megadeth. Didn't you come and we played? No, that was a different show. Remember?
No, I went to see Chicago. I went to see you guys with the Monomarth, Metal Church, Suicidal, and Butcher Babies.
That's right. That's
the show that I went. Fantastic.
Out at Hoffman Estates or something, right? Wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And then we did that tour with you guys in Fear Factory.
Yes, I remember that.
2013. That was very scary for us. We didn't know how Megadeth fans were going to react to an active rock.
It was great, though. It was.
We had to bring out all our heavy and thrashier stuff. I said, man, we got to change our set list and we did. Yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
No, I remember me and Dave. I think we were in New York. We were getting ready to go on the air with Eddie Trunk or something, and we were sitting on the couch out in the lobby. And I think our manager brought it up. Said, "Hey, we're Non-Point. I think it's going to be the third band on the bill." And it was like, that's an interesting choice. And it was like, we thought the same thing and said, I think it's going to be good. I mean, you guys had something new coming out right at the time. It was good. It was a good fit. Yeah. But and we always like doing tours like that where it isn't just 4 bands that all sound the same. Like there's a diversity. And
I had a great time. I mean, as nervous as we went into it because obviously a different genre and Fear Factory being heavier than us as well. But we said, let's just do what we do, and we'll change the set list and see what happens. And went over.
It was great. Yeah, you guys totally killed it. Yeah.
Had a great time. Yeah,
very good.
Raven is not from Canada. Raven is from England, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, from the UK.
And we love Annihilator too.
But Annihilator's from there, and so is Bachman Turner Overdrive, which is the whole reason why
Raven All for One, man, fantastic album.
Totally. Yeah.
Well,
folks, I'm going to get ready to jump off here in a little while. It was good seeing everybody. Rob, dude, thank you for joining us, man.
Oh, dude, anytime.
Really great.
You guys invited me. You guys take care.
Yep. Thank you, buddy. See you.
All right, kids.
So the live, what's the link? They said they won't let you pay. We got all these new items going up in the Youth Music Foundation.
I'll try and post it and see if it works. Yeah, but it'll be going up tonight, tomorrow, whenever I get around to it.
And then you've got some other big stuff coming down the pike here in a couple weeks, right?
Mark Weiss hit me up the other day, and he participated with us on both the live streams for the foundation, and asked if we'd help him put together a live stream launch event for his new book, The Decade That Rocks, that's coming out on June 2nd. So I said, yeah. So he's hitting up a bunch of people. It's going to be a bunch of people from the book. We'll make an official announcement over the next couple of days, kind of who's going to participate. But yeah, it's going to be me and David, Mark Weiss, Rich Beanstalk, who wrote the book with them, and a bunch of other guests. I know Rudy Sarzo confirmed, Stephen Piercy, we're literally just kind of starting to reach out to people. But yeah, look, we had that cool segment on the live stream with Dee Snider talking about the book and him working with Mark, and it's going to kind of be like that, but So yeah, May 30th is going to be
kind of a miniature OCKU stream, if you will.
Exactly, but all kind of based around Mark's book and everything. And the book's awesome, man. It's like 600 pages of his photos and stories, and Mark has some of the coolest stories in rock and roll, just like you know.
Yeah.
So
how many times did I leave and come back to Megadeth? Well, first of all, I never left Megadeth. Megadeth broke up in 2002. So I'm like the only member who has never left and never got fired, if there is such a thing. So it ended in 2002, came back together in 2004, and then I came back in 2010. So that's the history of that.
That's right.
Anyway, hey, great to see everybody. Good chat here today. It's awesome. This is actually a good time to do it, Thom, on a Saturday, kind of earlier in the day. It's nice.
Yeah, every time we do it at different times, we catch it. And make sure everybody tune into Hard Drive tonight to hear Over Now. Yeah. And Over Now is now, I forgot to mention this before, is now available on Spotify and iTunes and Google and all the digital outlets. So definitely go check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it. I see your big thank you, America.
Womp.
So many baby SpongeBob. Womp, how are you, buddy? So a lot of people keep coming back and joining. We see your comments. Sorry we can't get to all of them in the middle of our gabbing and chatting here and everything. So
I know.
So all right,
anyway,
cool. Listen,
it's been real.
It has been real. And Thom, we'll chat with you later.
All right, buddy. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you.